you something about Python, Django, like that. Python is an advanced programming language, very famous in data science streams also. And Django is a framework used for Python. Here I am using PyCharm. It's like a notepad, but it's an advanced type. It's very useful for Django. Uh, uh, this one is in a professional edition. Uh, Also, commercial version is available. The professional version have some kind of advantages. If you are a student, you can purchase the professional edition as a student for 1 year free. So let's begin. Here I am showing how to create a Python web app interacting with database. Here I am creating a polls app. It's a voting website. Here we have some questions and its choices. We can select the choice and vote, and also see how many of them are selecting a choice. First of all, we can start from how to create a project. First, click on the file, new project, Django, edit the name and create. I already created a file, that's why I'm not create. If a commercial version, we manually install Django. For installing Django, we must connect with the internet and type pip install Django. The professional edition is done one. That's why I am not running this code. Next, for the commercial version, the project we will manually create. For that, using the code Django admin start project, then project name. After that, we create apps. Apps means it's like modules. If for an example, we consider a Facebook, there are many modules like login, registration, chat, timeline, profile, like that. We can make it each one as a module and create as an app. The app contains its own database, so the complexity of project can reduce, and also the code reusability is possible. So we can start an app. For that, run Django admin start app name. I give polls and run this code. I already create the polls, so I didn't create that one. After creating that, we got folders here. The folders are look like this. This is the main folder. Here are the polls is the app, and the polls app is the project. Here many files are available. One of the mains are settings and URLs. Settings contains the all settings of the project, and URLs contains the main URLs passed through the URL tab in the browser. The working of the Django, the address passed in the URL are referred in this URL, then it's the checks the URL is where we placed. If it's is in an app, then directly came to this app's URL portion. Then we define where the links, descriptions, like that. These all things are we write in views page. So it came to views page, and then from there we refer what kind of things happened on that. We can discuss this later. We can begin. Now we can check the Django is correctly installed and the app is developed or not. So type python manage.py run server. Yes, the install worked successfully. Congratulations. Next, we need to add the app to the project. So we can open up the projects settings.py. Here a section called installed app. Here all false. Now we add the app to the project. Next thing, we are going to create the database for our application. Databases are created using classes. The classes can be created in the model section. The model is in the models.py. Open it. For this project we need two tables, one for question and one for choice. The class for question is like this. Here it for two fields, question text, it's a character field, maximum 100. Next one is publication date. It can take the date and time field, and also defining a function str. These functions used for returning the question text. Otherwise we can only see the question object like that. We can't see the exact question text. The next table is called choice. Its fields are choice text and votes. The choice text is for the text, the choice names, and the votes for counting how many votes get, and also add the foreign key from the question text, from the question, the field question text. The next step is migration. If we create a table or update the database, we must migrate the database. For this, type the command python manage.py python manage.py make migrations. Here create model question and create model choice. Then type python manage.py migrate. The migration process completed. The database is created. Now we can check the database created, the contents are available or not. So it can be done by two ways: the shell coding and the admin page. The admin page is more easier, so I explain the admin page. For that we can create a super user. It can created by Python manage.py create super user. Now we can add username, email ID and password. Now a super user created successfully. Now we can check the tables are created or not. So we run Python manage.py run server. In the URL we can add /admin to open admin page. Here type the username and password. Now we can't see the table name, so go back to the page and open the polls admin.web page. Type the code like this. This will help to see the questions and answers that are available in the database. So now save this and run the admin page again. Now we can see the tables and its values. Now we can add a question and choices. First I create a question: what's your age, and set the publication date and time and save. And I also add another question: favorite color, and save it. Next we can add choices. First I add choice for the question what's your age. I give 3 options. Earlier I say about the str functions. Our we can use this. We only see like this choice object. I add, but I didn't migrate it. That's why here the choices we can't see. And I also add choice for the next question, favorite color. So we can't go back and rectify it. Now I rectify it. Now we can see the choices. Now we can connect the app's URL with the project URLs. So we go to project URLs page and add a path. This path is Paul's URLs path, and also adding namespacing. Here we import the include statement also. Next we create a URL apps page. So we create. Now we're going to Paul's URLs.py and type from Django URLs import URL, and also from dot import we creating the URLs here. From the URLs we calls a functions. The functions are defined in the views page, and from there the views page we are go to HTML pages. We import these statements: Django URLs, import path, and import views. The views is an important thing. From the URLs page we refer a views.a function. The function is defined in views page. The function contains all the functionalities and a reference of HTML pages, etc. I create a function index, and we can define the index function in views page. Before that we need to import something HTTP response. We can use to the HTTP response to write some text in the web pages. So we can import the state. We are adding this import HTTP response tab. Next we are defining the index function. Type the definition like this, and next we run using money.py run server. and it's look like, yes, we got that response. It pulls up. Next, we can directly go through database and HTML pages. So first of all, we can create HTML pages. The HTML pages are we can create HTML pages. The HTML pages are placed in templates folder, so we need to create a folder called template. It will be in the apps folder. Create a directory. In the templates folder, I also create a folder pods. This is for just avoiding the confusion of which one's HTML page or like. In pods, we can create an HTML page. Index.html. Add code to the index.html. In the body tag, we write the code like this. I already created the code, that's why I pasting it. It's for saving time of your. In here, the latest is the here latest is a variable. This one is created in the your the latest is a variable. It's created in the views page. The function index, there we create. I will show that. Here checking the latest have any value. If that value we refer a page, we want to go there. Pods.dta, we will create that function and page, and also passing an ID with them. The ID is the questions ID, and we showing a question text. This is the first page. Here we showing the questions using a href for a link. Like we click the link, we can go to the go to its choices. That's why we give like that. Now we can see the latest declaration of latest. It's in the views page. Go there. I already add the code, and I also some import statements. We can discuss it later. Here I redefine the index. The earlier response thing I just erase it. Here I define the latest in here. It can specify the question objects order by publish date 5. It means the latest 5 ones order by publish date. Based on publish date, the latest 5 objects of question will be displayed in here. And I also refer a context. For an HTML page is seen, we using a render method. It contains three parts: a request part and the path of the HTML page and the context. Next, we can directly go through database HTML pages like that. We mainly want three HTML pages. First one is index. In there we can show the questions like a links. Clicking on each question, we go to a detail page. In there the question and its choices, and also there will be a radio button for selecting a question and a button for submit the selection. And the next page is results page. There will be showing how many of them selecting options. First we can create HTML pages. For that, the HTML must be placed in a templates folder. So we can create template folder. The folder must be created in apps folder. So right click, new directory, templates. Next I also create a folder just for referring the polls pages. Only for that, if there will be many apps or different modules, so there will be a confusion or same naming errors. For avoiding that, I create a new folder polls. In polls, create an HTML file called index. In this page we can add the showing contents. Before that, we must create the views. Before that, we must create a view function called with the same name index. From that view function we came that index.html page. So we must first create that index function. This is the index function I developed earlier. I explained this for you. Here this is the functions format. This will used for indentation, and here the latest is a variable. It contains the question is the table name, its object. The objects are ordered by publication date, and this column with 5 represent the last 5 things. That's why it's ordered by published date, and the in this variable it contains the last 5 objects of the question table. Next to the we add the context, and using an HTML page we must use a render function. If we display just a text, we use an HTTP response earlier, replacing it with a render function. For For that we are adding a shortcut import render, and also add this in the top of the page. This will explain later. Here rendering rendering contains three parts: request, post.index, post/index.html, and context. From this function we are going to the index.html page. Now we can complete the index.html page. Go there, and the code must be right in between the body tag. Now I place the code, explain it. The latest is the variable that previously defined. It is a questions object if it's available. Using this for loop and if statement to printing the questions in the index page. Here for x in the latest. Using a reference, this is for clicking on a question, we can go into a detail page. Here we refer the polls detail. It's a view function. We directly go from clicking, we directly go to the view pages detail function. From there we are going to detail.html page. Next we can write the detail function, and also x.question text within a double curly bracket. The double curly bracket is used for printing a variable value. Curly bracket with a percentage sign, it's used for representing a Python code. If the latest variable have no value, print no question. Then we can go back to the views page, and we can define the detail function. Now we can define the detail function. The code is this. Here using an get object or for not for is an error if the page is not found, and also passing two variables, question and question ID. The question IDs we can get from the HTML. Here we pass the detail with question ID, the function name with the parameter question ID. That's we using here. In this we next we render here polls detail.html and the context. We can shortly define like this. We can avoid the context and curly bracket, and we can directly put it in the render function. From here we go to detail.html page. Now we can create the detail.html page. For that, open template, polls, new HTML file, detail.html. Create a detail.html page. Here we can show the question and its choices. Now the detail.html page is created, and add code between the body tag. Put the codes between the body tag. The codes be like this. First is h1 tag. Here the question text, it is a question. If an error occurs, the error message will print. That's why using this line. Next we use form method. This will use to collect the clicked value from the page. If there are three options we give, we click any of the one, the submit button will click, the value will be redirect to a database. That's why we using the form and method post. And also here we use a action method. This method will used for if the submit button clicks, this action will occurs. This action is URL polls vote question ID. Here the submit button clicks, go to polls URL page and polls vote function in the and calls vote function, and also passing question ID as parameter. In the form we use radio buttons. Before that we can we can make sure that the choice are available and the values must be in here. For that, using this for loop, for choice in question choice set all, it's a method to access all choices related with that question, and using an input type radio. This is for getting radio button, and give name choice and ID choice for loop counter. Its ID will be for loops counter and values choice ID, and also give a label. The label contains the choice text related with the choice ID. And also include a submit button in here. Next we can see the vote function in the views. Before that we can see it in the URL page. From there we can go to views page and the vote functions definition, and after that we can go to vote.html page. The URL page, the URLs are in here. The last one is we are passing vote. Referring vote in the tab, it's called views.vote function. Next we can go to views and see views vote definition. In the views page we can define the vote function. It's been like this. Definition vote request the passing variable question ID. Here we using object or format for and here we using try except. In the try section, selected question is a new variable. Question choice, it's representing the selecting choice. It's passing using request.post. If we don't select a choice using the except, it's render it to the same page and printing an error message. Please select a choice. For this error message, we are placing for printing error message we using the context section, the except section, the render function have the context section for printing the error message, and an else part if the except not the try the error the selected choice is correct, then the selected part else part is worked. In here the selected choice dot votes equal to +1 and selected choice dot save. This will be used for saving, this will be used to adding value to database, word count section and saving. And also using a HTTP response redirect, it used for redirecting the current page to another page. Here the page is polls results. The polls results, it refers to URLs results section and also passing a question ID. We can see the URLs page. If passing the vote, then if passing the results, then go to use results function and we can see the use results function and define it in here. If passing results in the URL, then go to views page and checking the results function. The results function must be defined in the views page. We can define it in there. Open views page and create the result function. It's like this. Here create a question variable. It contains if using this get object or for not for managing error, and passing question and its ID. After that, using a render function to render the HTML page of results. This page is used to showing the results of the choice selection, and from that page we can know how many of them choose which from that page we can find how many of them choose a choice. Now we can define the results.html page. For that, create a new HTML file called results. In its body tag, in between its body tag, we in results.html page, between the body tag, place the code The first one is for showing the question text. Next is the for loop used for printing the choices. Here using the question ID to fetching all questions that will use the set or function, then placing choice dot choice text and choice dot words. These are two fields in the database. We can what is called, this will be enough. And also add a link what again, its reference is URL polls details. That way in URLs this reference passing detail to the URL tab, then we can search it in URLs. The detail name is found, then going to views detail function and go to views detail function. It rendering with the question, that means we can go back to the previous page and vote again. That's it. This is all about the polls app. Our polls app is completed. Now we can run it. We can run using Python manage.py run server. If we are creating an errorless code, then we can get a link. Click in the link and go into the page. Here is two questions: favorite color, what's your age. These are we created in the database, and clicking one of them. This is the next detail page. Here the question and 3 radio buttons and its choices and a submit button also. If we create if we select the vote button, the error message prints. Please select a choice. Select any of them and vote. Now we can see the 20 get 1 vote, and here is the link vote again. We go click it. We can come back to the previous page and we can add another vote. 17 vote. Now we can see 17 has got 1. We can go back. We can directly go to the home page. We can select favorite color, 3-1, the select red, vote. It's clear that our WhatsApp is correctly working. We can just checking a preview of our tutorial. First we create our project using Django admin start project name. Then we create app using Django admin start project start app name, that's pods. Then we got some folders like this, and also some folders like this. Then we add the apps folds up to the settings.py in installed app section. Then we go to apps model.py and create our database and use make migrations and migrate command to migrate our table. Then we create super user command to create the super user and going the admin page. This one. Sorry, yeah. And edit the question and choices that we created, and we can also add something. Then we develop just a HTTP response using the HTML. Before that, we connect the polls URLs with the project URLs. In the project URLs, we add a path and include polls URL and a namespace called poll. That way, we use all the references, the URL like polls double colon. I show you that. This like this. All the reference this action also like the reference the polls dot what. This polls is for. That's why the namespace is used. That's why we use the polls in here. If we using many apps, avoiding the same name error, for that we using the namespacing. After creating the URL connection between the app and the project, then we interact directly with the database HTML pages. For developing HTML pages, we create a template folder inside a poll folder. Inside 3 HTML pages, index, result, details. We can in the URL page, if we pass a nothing passed in the URL tab, it's calling index function. It placed in the views.index. In the views.index, we define we pass all the latest 5 objects of the question table to a latest variable and render it into the index page. In the index page, after that we can see the questions like this. This page we will get after that. After that way, we will go to the detail page. The detail page contains the selected question and its choices. That's we referring here for detail URL and also passing question the latest. That's why the questions ID and printing the question text. And you are going back to the URLs. If coming detail, then go to use detail. In here use detail. It go to refer detail.html page. We go there and we can see that the submit button will force the page to go to vote in URL tab, and also here using this for loop to get all choice list of that question and printing it using here the labels, and also using radio button with input type. If the vote is passed, we directly go to URL page and check vote, then call a vote use.vote function. Directly go to use, there is the vote function. The vote function is called, here is the database activities done. First we check a value will get or no. If the value get, the else part work, otherwise the error message will print on the screen and we stay in that page. That's why you here call here render with detail.html page. If we get a value, then the field in the choice database choice table, update it with adding one value to it and save the data. And passing results in the URL, we can check the URL page, the results in here. Go to views.result. It's in here, its definition subject to force up to go to result.html page. In here the question will be printed. After that, using a LA tab to pointing dot and choice text, choice of that questions, and two hyphens and choice votes, the value of the vote field, and also give a link called vote again, and if we click the vote again link, it passes detail to the URL and it goes to URL page. The detail will go to URL tab and go back to false URL page and refer the detail function and also see the detail.html. It's used for just go back to the previous page, but only after showing the selected choice. That's it, friends. After that, our pulse up will be completed. I think it will help you. Thank you for watching this. If you are any it out, please comment.